Multimedia personality, comedic commentator, songwriter, recording artist, spiritual leader, and actor. Catch Larry Reid on the BET Plus original series Kingdom Business and on American Gangsta Trap Queens. Streaming online at BET.plus.
Yeah. God says when you go to the bank this time, approval, the Spirit of the living God. My God. God says that he's singling you out because God says there's an anointing on your life. And God says, you tell Omen Joseph that I'm calling him for ministry. It's Jonathan's time for a miracle.
Who's Jonathan?
My name's Jonathan.
Jeez, my God.
Stay connected to Prophet Manasseh Jordan. Text the words text MJ to 33339. That's TEXT MJ to 33339. Stay connected to Larry Reid Live. Take a moment and like the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube page and hit the bell. Text LRL to 404-999-7527. That's the words LRL to 404-999-7527. And get notified when we go live. Become a member of Patreon. Log on to patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. Sign up, then download the Patreon app and turn on your notifications. Get connected today. Patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. Let me tell you why you should join. You will gain access to master level teaching and coaching, which includes Sunday morning prayer calls with Dr. Reid, Wednesday night breakdown with Dr. Reid, the prophets and care pastors, divine partnerships and networking with a like-minded community, exclusive content, which includes daily posts, ranging in topics that are too expansive to share on Dr. Reid's public platform, including money, health and wellness, entrepreneurship, relationships, prophecy, prayer, and more. Become a member today by logging on to patreon.com/Larry Reid Live today.
We're about to have a conversation. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have in the studio the son of Bishop Eddie Long, Edward Long. Now, I had a nickname for you after our last thing.
I'm sure.
It was Eddie Wrong.
Okay.
It was Eddie Wrong.
I hadn't heard that.
It was. Okay, so, but now we're in a whole different place, and we're going to talk to you guys about that. But the first thing we want for you to do is to hit like and hit share, and make sure you tag Jamal Harris. Make sure you honestly, just make sure you let everybody know that we are on and we're about to have a conversation right now. Now, this is going to be a good conversation. This is what I want people to know. Well, first of all, I want to find out because I really don't know. I want to find out more who you are. I want to know what it was like being the son of Bishop Eddie Long. And I found out that you left like your whole life and went and helped your father build. So I want to know about that. Then when the ministry began to break down with all the scandal stuff, how were you feeling? What was your experience? And then what the ministry has went through afterwards. The aftermath is like its own separate saga. So I want to find out about it. And there's nobody else better to talk to than the person who is the legitimate real son of Bishop Eddie Long. So those of you that are in the chat, I see you coming in. There's 1,075 of you already watching. I need everybody on YouTube and Facebook to hit like right now and let everybody know that we're going to have a very real conversation. Now, Edward told me, he said, you can ask me anything. Okay, so I can ask him anything about what happened. Because see, I was always interested and what you were going through, because I'm a preacher's son, and then my girls, I watch my girls go through what they go through as a result of their daddy being a pastor. So I want to know what was going on in your head. And I also want to ask you some questions about how can I and parents that are preachers and pastors and leaders make better impact on our children. I have I don't have any perspective for that except for my experience. Your father was high profile. I'm high profile. I don't know what my kids are going through. So I want to find that out and get your perspective on that as well. It's going to be a very interesting conversation. We'll see what y'all saying in the chat. All right. Okay. Hold on. Your nickname, Cody?
Absolutely. In the book, we talk about all of that. Everything that you were just asking about, parenting. I get into my names. Only a few people can call me that.
Somebody in the chat just said it. I didn't know it.
I will ignore some folks if they hit me, but they don't know me like that.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay. So your family. So we love you, Cody. This is some for real people that really know you.
Absolutely. I'm saying, I see Monica in there. What's going on? Yeah. Okay. You see Long legacy coming out. It's all good.
Right. So you see where the blue is. That means it's on Facebook. And the red is it's a comment from YouTube.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So make sure you let everybody know that we are having the conversation. If you are on Facebook, please hit like because we're shadow banned over there.
Monica's off the chain.
On YouTube, make sure you hit like as well and share with everybody. Let them know that we're about to have the conversation. Lee. Okay. So. Let's go ahead and get this out the way because people in the chat, when I posted, I'm sure people hit you up. So when I posted, oh my God, you can't have them back on. No, because of what happened last time.
It's a setup.
Yeah.
I got you.
I got that. You know what I'm saying? It's a setup. No, something's happening. He's coming working for somebody. People come up with stuff. But I do understand that y'all you just love the Larry Library.
They're looking out. I got it.
They were looking out. But then what did they say anything to you like, okay, he's gonna set you up this time to try to get you back or something?
I've heard all of that. Yeah. I've heard that. I've heard some pro stuff. It is what it is. I get a kick out of commentary because when you know what it is, you know what it is. Yeah. You feel me? So I want to do something. I want to do a few things.
Oh, okay, go ahead. On.
First of all, I know you ain't really in this space, but I just came bearing a couple of gifts.
Oh!
This is a new drop for the summer.
Let me tell you, somebody told me some. Hold on. Do you have you invested in this?
I got a special situation, a very unique situation there. Absolutely.
Just my mama that is watching this, just cause he gave me this, don't mean I'm gonna drink.
Oh, here we go. Okay, well, add it to your collection. I know you be getting more. So
can somebody put this on the bar?
That's the honey melon right there, Ciroc. That's for
I heard about this flavor and the apple, but I heard about this. I recently just heard about this. I got a story about this flavor concerning my eldest daughter, but I ain't gonna tell it up here.
I'm good.
I just found out the other day.
I'm good.
I didn't know nothing about it.
I got you.
Oh, well, preach your kids.
So to unpack, when I guess this is like 4 years ago now.
It's been a while.
When I was really
it was. Yeah.
I understood the frustration. I understand what they got. Cardi B got the Barty gang or whatever. Yeah. What's the Nicki Minaj got the Barbs and Barbies and all of that. And Beyonce with the Beehive, etc. Yeah. And I understand. Larry Reid has
LRL.
The Reids. You know what I'm saying, if you will. Yeah. You and I didn't know each other.
Not at all.
That's the basis. Yeah. And one thing about me, I'm a very passionate person. So if I'm with you, I'm with you. To be honest, if it seems like I'm against you, I'm still with you because I'm kingdom. You follow me? What happens is that sometimes you can't get to a place of peace without a little bit of confrontation.
Okay, yeah.
You follow me? And you do what you do. At the time, I don't understand what you do.
Right.
At the time, it's simply, I don't like what you're doing.
Right.
And I remember when I was on Praise 102.5 and I was doing a Facebook Live and you came on. And I know that you had posted stuff about me, about a few other people, some of my friends, etc. And within that, I'm like, well, dope, we can talk about this. And that's when I invited you. I said, come on over to Praise. And after going back and forth a couple of times, Bishop Jordan came into the conversation, etc. It was, well, maybe you go on Larry's show instead. So within that, I go on your show. I go on wanting to really discuss one thing. You follow me? What's going on with your trajectory from my vantage point of how you handle people's situations. That was my only interest. You follow me? That's what I wanted to talk with you about on my show. So within that, what I didn't know is that the studio we were in up in the sky was actually your place of residence.
Right.
Because I come from music, you feel me? And plenty of folks got studios, little bando spots, little ducked off spots, whether it's in a condo, whether it's in some house over here, whatever. And it could be bedrooms set up, all these things, but it doesn't mean they reside there.
That's true.
You feel me? So I don't know that this is your place of residence. To be honest, I didn't know much about you other than what I saw you display. I didn't know you were married. I didn't know you had kids that may, slide through there, etc. So it was not my objective to put you in jeopardy. My objective was, if something pop off up in here, people need to know what we are. Because every night that I'm on the radio, I come on saying whether I was on streets, whether I was on praise, or when I was on high. Praise on 2.5, Lit Nights with Ed. You know what we are. You can Google the address. That's how you had situations like where Pac got shot, where Jam Master Jay got killed out the studio. Because these people can find where these places are. You follow me? Had I known that this was your dwelling, I would have taken a different approach. In not knowing it, I would have done the same thing. So when you and I talked, we were at Bishop Jordan's hotel room or something, I think, when, months ago or what have you. And I shared that with you. And, my apology to you at the time was not an apology of me feeling like I was Eddie wrong. You know what I'm saying? And doing something wrong. Because I know why I did it in the place I did it from, which I just explained. My apology to you was simply because of the offense that it caused you, and it caused those who hold you dearly. That's it. You follow me? Because again, being kingdom, if you offend a brother, then you ain't gonna receive nothing else from me because you hold offense.
That's true.
And so I think that we've had enough conversation and dialogue, if you will, over these past few months or what have you, that we can be in this space and it's a much more genuine encounter.
I get to know you. I get to learn who you are, and who you are not, more so than anything.
And then the other thing is, in not understanding what you do. Don't like it. That's one thing. But then also, if we can understand something, then I can not like it, but get it. If that makes sense to you. One of my professors when I was over at Beulah working on my master's, Jonathan Alvarado, he actually used to serve under my father, Bishop Jonathan. You familiar with him?
I know that name.
Yeah, Tony, all of them. So I think she just celebrated her birthday, etc. And they're doing some great work. One thing he said to me in class one time, he said, Ed, he said, a keen mind is able to hold two contrasting thoughts in mind at the same time. Meaning I can understand what Biden is about and understand what Trump is about. You feel me? And I don't have to agree or disagree with either. I can just understand it. And so I'm able to sit here today because it's like, I get it. I remember you stated something. You said, well, look, I never said nothing bad about Bishop Long. My interpretation was totally opposite of that. When I watched one of your videos, because you research, I research. I come from, radio and all of that. I got to know what's going on. And so I remember you stated, like, when my dad went on Steve Harvey's show, he was messing himself up. You feel me? And then another statement said, I can't listen to Eddie because it's too creepy. It's just a creep show. It's a creep show. So for me, where I was at that moment, that's offensive to me. And that's negative. You feel me? And then for my trial, the long legacy, if you will, and the reach of that, it's like, bro, this cat done talk crazy about your dad, whatever. So when you said that to me, it was like, okay, I can't let you say that. That was just the man in me come like, I can't. But we worked through it.
And this is the thing, I didn't know if you knew this or not, but a lot of people gave me a lot of flack for this. Because I don't know if anybody else was saying what I said.
Not many, no.
Okay, I told him, I'm telling y'all again, what I told Edward was, do you know I was like one of the main people who was getting got in 2017 for the things that I was saying in favor of your father. And please be clear, I was not not taking nobody's side. I'm just looking at things for what they are. And when I heard what I heard, I said, "Now wait." I didn't even know Bishop Eddie Long's ministry. I just knew his church, his name, him at Jake's stuff. I didn't know his work until after he was dead, coming to the city and then hearing the things he'd done in the city. I'm like, I said, wait a minute. This man did a whole lot of stuff in the city. I didn't know all of that. So what I was saying had nothing to do with me liking the work he did in the city, nothing to do with the work he done in the Black community. None of that. It was just looking at a thing and knowing this does not add up to Larry. And so I never, ever, I mean, I don't care what anybody else say, and I know there are other bloggers, and I hate to even say this because this is going to give people content, but I never, ever believed it. And you can go back to the stuff when Buddha was here, Vincent was up here, we was on the street in, what's that community? Atlantic Station with my video asking people, what you think? And I'm like, I
didn't know y'all did all that.
Yeah, we did.
Y'all was going crazy.
Yeah, it may still be up. It was like a hot topic. It may still be up. But, if it ain't, I got it. But that was the conversation. I'm like, I don't believe Eddie Long is this predator in the pulpit. I couldn't wrap my mind around it. And I didn't even know him. Just looking at the picture of him look like he working out, showing it to somebody else. I said, shoot. I said, look. My mentor had been working out on his thing so many times, burning sweat, holding a shirt. Look how much stomach I lost and sent to me. Somebody could take that and make that look like something. Because you add a narrative to something and then you have like one picture. That's all it takes, especially back then. Now it takes more. But back then, that's all it took. And so to me, I'm like, that makes no sense to me. And then let me tell you what happened. And I can't say that name, but we talked about it. You know who it is. I didn't tell y'all. But when we had a conversation on the platform and I got hit up, this is like in the heat of Larry Live. We still hot. Well, back then when I would just say anything.
When you were smoking.
Right. And so, and they're like, oh my God, they just show Larry Live. So I was getting hit up by people who wanted to promote stuff. And one of the people that had these, I only like saying the word allegations because it sounds too professional.
No, but that's what they put out. So
but I don't like it. It sounds too judicial, but because really it's just a story. One of the guys that told his story on your father, and I was like, oh, okay, I remember your name. I remember you being one of the 5 guys. I said, okay. I said, can I talk to you off record? And in that off record conversation, I said, wait a minute. You mean to tell me that's all that happened? It wasn't even an inappropriate. I don't know about the rest of them, but this one that got the check too. It was not even an inappropriate touch. It was a hug. And I know he may be saying this and get upset and may text me.
It's back on the record.
But oh well, oh hell, and I recorded our conversation just so you know. And so you said it. I said, there is no way I can promote now your book about it because he wrote a book. And I know that he came to your door and hugged you at your door in a public place and laughed. He said, but he knew I was vulnerable because I had this long. I said, but he said it was a long hug. Oh, so a long hug constitutes. I said, I can't do that. And that was in 2000. I didn't get that evidence until I had a conversation with him, but I knew back then this was stupid. It looked like somebody who was a powerful black man who loved other young black men helping them, and he got the okie doke, in my opinion. Now, I'm not excusing if anything did happen if you're watching, but from my standpoint and what I've seen some of the bishops in my life go through before Larry Live, some of their church mothers, I've seen that kind of stuff, and I don't like it. I know I've talked about it so much on the other end with people who really did something, but there have been other situations where they didn't do nothing. They just took their relationship and they took it somewhere where the man themselves ain't even take it. They get obsessed with it, get obsessive and strange and make up a story. So I couldn't do that. I couldn't do it. So I think me and Buddha was on two separate sides of that conversation. I think we were. We were on two separate sides of the conversation. But that's what I thought. So I don't think that Bishop Long's legacy should be summated in that scandal.
I appreciate that.
I don't think so.
I appreciate that.
Because when you look at some of the other things that he's done, I don't know everything about Bishop Eddie Long, but when I look at the things that he's done, I said, no, that's not fair. I feel like that's unfair to just say, okay, throw away 20, 30 years of ministry. I'm going to tell you something else. And this may make somebody upset. I do not like, don't put this on air, but this is Larry Lack.
Please don't. I don't even know where you're going.
I don't like the way Bishop Daddy Jakes handled your daddy after that.
Oh,
scandal.
man.
I don't.
Manasseh hitting you. Commercial break. Manasseh.
Well, Manasseh, I'm live right now. I'm with Bishop Eddie Long's son.
What's up, man?
I had to call you back.
Uh-oh, he's going in with the gift.
Notice how he don't care. There's thousands of people watching us, and he still want me to see. Yes, because he like my ball man shoes. But he got the jogger. No, he don't have that. He like that.
And it's reversible.
Manasseh, did you hear me say that I'm alive?
That man don't care.
You just like your daddy.
Hey, he a prophet. He knew you was doing
He
this.
knew I was
and
lying.
still hit you.
He didn't care. He's just like his daddy. They don't care. Anyway, I'm Return Pete. I feel like when that happened, everybody ran away from your father.
That's true. Many did. And, many have come back and apologized in their own ways. I'll tell you what, the number one thing I hear, especially today in all the controversy of politics, social justice, all of these things, pastors, bishops say to me, boy, I sure wish your dad was here. Because he was the voice that we turn to for direction during times like this. There's a lot of preaching going on. There are a lot of works going on. But our community doesn't have direction. If anything, we're echoing what the world is saying and just sprinkling a little Jesus on top of it.
I would have to agree with that.
And so many have come to me and I've forgiven. You feel me? Because that's the only option I have. I live by a phrase. My guy John is over there. He knows it. Jesus said, "Bless those that curse you." And so, you called me to cuss and preach. I don't really cuss. I'll say hell or something here and there. But
well, now because so we're in the same boat.
But back when I used to use profanity, you feel me? And might say, "Negro," you know what I'm saying? And so my growth is F you, God bless you.
Okay, good.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And so my spirit will be saying F you. But then that kingdom kicks in too. You know what? God bless you. Right. Because you got to work that out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And we're not going to get nowhere with me again being in a certain disposition.
Now I'm looking at, he's sitting here. Your father is in a chain on your chest.
This was a gift. When I walked in for his, the day before? The wake, when he was lying in state. And one of the members, she hit me with it so fast, I didn't really get to see her face. And she slid it, and she actually gave me two of them. And so, I wear this, man. And I gave another one to Apostle Browder in Alabama because he just loved my dad so much. And then my wife got me a gold one with diamonds on it during our wedding. But I keep them, man. Absolutely. Because I told him at the homegoing, the name is going to live forever, bro.
Did you have time to grieve?
Bro, I'm still grieving now. So, great question. And, there's so many things that happen. You got lawsuits, you got all the stuff that's going on with that. Boom, 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 boom. Plus what we have this exodus of people from the church, and you have to process that. At first, you're feeling like people not being loyal. At first, you feeling like people not staying down. My mind work off a different code. My mind work off a street code. You follow me? My brothers, my partners out, they were in the streets. I was always around them. You feel me? We wasn't church guys. We just happened to be in church, if that makes sense to you. And so you weigh loyalty. You follow me? You weigh people's capacity to stand. And I had to realize, man, it may not be disloyal. It may just be that maybe people didn't get the answers they were looking for. Or maybe people didn't come for this. You know, I tell people all the time, folks don't go to church for drama. And it's too much drama in church now.
Now you preaching.
People go to church to get their drama resolved.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna come here and I'm getting my drama meeting your drama, I need to go where it's drama free. You know what I'm saying? So you just go through all of these thought processes to just say, you know what, I get it, it's okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So your mind went to the ministry instead of the ministry as opposed to like grieving as your dad is
man,
dead.
you just put your game face. You may remember, you know, when these press conferences were happening, I'm standing with my dad. I went and ran off shirt saying, I stand with Bishop Long. I support Bishop Long. That's my position. You follow me? One, I know different than what's being portrayed. Also, it's just like, bro, this is what he raised us for. Pop is a general. Pop is a general in the faith. So he didn't raise us. He didn't have that kingdom, that taking authority mindset for us to tuck our tails. And so here it is, Moses. If Moses needs some help with his arms being held up, then the son got to hold arms up, bro. So you don't even have the time to go think about self. Then here's the other thing with me that I don't think anybody really considered. Those lawsuits, the way that they were painted was that this was youth. These were children. So at the time, bro, I've been the youth pastor for 2 years. The guys who doing this is in the young adult ministry at worst by age. You feel me? But the way it's being painted, the department or the ministry that I'm leading, before these lawsuits come out, we seeing like 2,000, 2,500 kids per week. Bro, it tanks to like 200. So you talk about that type of drop off. Everybody's focused on the adults. I'm dealing with these youth who are like, where's everybody going? Trying to console them because it's a death to them. On top of that, we in schools. My man Adonis Jews, AJ Jews, he's the high school, middle school director. I'm the youth pastor. And we're in schools because these kids is calling us like they getting picked on because they members of New Birth. They getting bullied, they getting this, they getting that. And so as long as the news cycle got my dad's name in the cycle, it's getting worse for them. We go to the schools, we getting laughed at by teenagers trying to minister. This is a real thing. And no one considers the outliers. You follow me? No one considers other people, the ancillary folks who are being affected as well. So that community, it wasn't just my dad, it wasn't just my family. It's a whole community of people.
So
I know you didn't expect all that, but
I mean, you know, that's heavy. That's a lot. That's a lot. It's a lot. Okay. Good thing ain't no easy cry.
I see through the tent though. I see where we
No,
at.
but that's a lot. I mean, because I asked you, because I get it. Because I asked you, did you grieve your dad? You mentioned that, but then you went into all of the other things that died that you grieved over.
I got more.
That's what I'm saying, and it's a good thing you ain't crazy.
So you sound like my therapist and my counselor and my coach. All have said it is a wonder you ain't crazy. That's why when people saying certain things about me, bro, I don't even trip. I don't care actually, because my thing is people make commentary based off a minuscule perspective. Yes. You have no idea what's going on, and most people can't relate. Most people never seen a certain amount of funds. Most people never had access into certain rooms.
What about that? The financial laws. I'm thinking about that's a whole nother grief.
Most people never have a certain amount of followers. I mean, and that's not belittling anybody, because all of us are valuable in the kingdom. But those type of things, that type of access, it shapes your outlook. While you can look at something and look at it introspectively and say, nah, that probably ain't, this ain't, woo, because you've had certain experience of your own. You've had allegations about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I can look at something because somebody may have made up something about me or whatever, and you can walk that thing just a little slower and take your time getting what the scribes of Solomon said. In all things, get an understanding.
Yeah,
it take a while.
that is yeah. All right, let's look at the chat. Take a break. Oh my God! See, y'all not here. I don't know if y'all can feel it online, but when he talks about this, it gets in all of the air around here that fills up. And if you sensitive, you can feel.
It's hot in here.
You can feel all of that. That's a lot. And see, but I had some sense of that before you was on the show the first time. And that was the reason why I was interested in having you on. But now I understand it. And I want to say this. I did call you Eddie wrong, but I feel like I shouldn't have, because now now I'm understanding that I sounded like another, just in that little thing I said, I sounded like somebody else who had something negative to say, about your father, and you have to protect your father, you know, and the legacy. And anybody who say anything, yeah, that's I understand that. I get that.
Thank you.
Now the I know people who have lost their mind because they went from making a certain amount of money to hardly nothing. You had that. Your father's there. Now your community disappears. And where you were putting your heart to minister, now that breaks down. I don't know. That is,
mind you, then I'm going through a divorce.
Sit down. Hold on, pause. I went through a divorce, and mine was a good one. It was still emotionally terrible. That's when I got suicidal. It was after my divorce, and she wanted to take the kids, which I didn't really think it was going to be over. But we had started doing ministry the same year we got married as teenagers.
I got you.
So after 20 years, she was getting out of the military. We getting, right at 20 years, 18 years of marriage. So I said, she ain't had time to find out who she is. She's been the first lady since she was a kid.
It's the discovery.
So I'm like, all right, you go ahead and show. I'm sure what I got going on, I'll be holding down while y'all gone. And then she got married to somebody else. After that, that was it. So and I was like, okay, now that's when I lost my senses.
I got you.
So, and at the same time, I was going through financial in my community. Same, really the same thing. Really the same thing.
And that's the cycle.
Yeah, but that is, that's a whole lot, man. So in the book, I'm trying to go into something else because that's too much. I got pull out of that because it's got me all wrapped up and
we
tied
can keep
up in
going
that.
down them steps. Come on.
No, because you're not about to have me crying on my own.
I want to see that. Hey, that's the news right there. Come on. Breaking news. Larry Reid breaks down. Let me lay hands on you.
Look, wouldn't that be the news? That would be some good news. I would be talking about that myself.
Come on.
But that is a whole lot. Okay, how is his wife doing?
So I share this in my book. We have a blended family.
Okay.
I think that our family truly represents what my dad was about. Diversity, kingdom, all these things. So the woman who you're talking about, that's my bonus mother.
Okay.
All right. I was in their wedding. I was 7 years old. I'm a product of my father's first marriage.
Okay.
So my mother is doing well, and my bonus mother is doing well. She is focused on caring for family.
She's still in the church.
She is. She's doing what's necessary to make sure that the community is warm. You follow me? Whole as far as her influence is concerned.
Right. So this is what I was wondering, because when after your father passed, somebody took over the church. I remember doing that story. I can't think of his name.
Stephen Davis.
Bishop Davis, right? No, I can't think of it. But I remember running that video, doing commentary on it. But was he supposed to get the church?
So the way that my dad established it was that Stephen Davis would be his successor.
Okay.
Stephen Davis was, and still is, a very faithful man. He came into, I don't know if you know, we had what we call the New Birth Church Association.
Yes. I
So
know
that's
about
why,
that.
like, this is the Charlotte location. Everything had the same logo, but it was at its peak. There were about, I think, 16 locations. This is a couple in California, Denver,
Didn't know
Florida, Savannah, a couple in Atlanta, Richmond, Virginia.
Didn't know that.
Knoxville, Tennessee, and so on and so on, Augusta. And so Stephen Davis already pastored a church in Birmingham.
Okay.
And during the worst time for New Birth, in 2012, he came to my dad and submitted his ministry to him. And so changed it from the Refiner's House to New Birth Birmingham. Wow. And that was just major, and we had an ongoing relationship prior to then. And I believe two things. And Bishop Davis and I, we are, super close. I just preached at his church. I've preached there multiple times the last couple of years. We went through a season of discord, if you will. But the Lord worked it out. He apologized to me. I received him, if you will. I knew it was genuine, and we just continued to ride this thing out. But in that, two things we knew. One is that my dad knew that Bishop Davis just preached. You have a lot of preachers, and there's nothing wrong with it, but who are trying to be in the marketplace with business, have a TV show, do this, do that, etc. And maybe the ministry may suffer. And my father knew that he is focused on preaching and caring for people. And in this type of transition, you need someone that's not focused on everything else, but focused on the house and the people. You follow me? And Bishop Davis knew that his job was to prepare the next, to prepare a son. Okay. You follow me? And he's very transparent about that. Okay. You follow me?
I got it. So did he know, and did you know that there will be a board that will be trying to put somebody in there other than after Davis?
We all were caught off guard by that, if you will.
I never actually had concrete proof of that, but it just felt like you guys were like caught off guard and didn't know about that.
Yeah, it's church politics, man. And that's what separates a kingdom agenda versus a church agenda. You feel me? I think that he came in, he and some of the other brothers, and we're really just focused on not just extending my father's legacy, but continuing to demonstrate to the body of Christ what a kingdom transfer and a kingdom agenda looks like.
So let me make sure I get it straight. So Davis, yourself, and the ministry at large were sort of sideswiped with the idea of another advisory board creating and finding somebody to put in that spot.
I'm not going to say Davis was sideswiped about it. The way that transpired was he just had his quarrels internally.
Yeah, I got it.
And so it led to him choosing to resign.
Got it.
And so at that point, the seat was vacated.
Right.
And then it goes to the powers that be.
Okay, now, you've been really nice. You've been really nice because this is where my knowledge pick up at. Because I'm going to try not to call no names. But what I saw happen reminds me of what happened with the Zachary Timms acquisition.
Rest in peace, G.
Yeah. It reminds me of some others that I can name, but they ain't that known, so we're just going to refer to that one. I don't like that. I don't think that's right. I don't think it's right how that was done. And they ain't got none of my money at New Birth, so it's just my opinion. But I just don't think it's right. However, I do understand that they wanted somebody to be there who had clout because your father has so much, nationally and international clout. As someone who has a political, maybe humanitarian edge. And I could understand why they ultimately chose Jamal Harrison Bryant. And in the beginning, out of everybody that they had to do it, the names that I knew of. I remember John Gray was on it and a few other people with some choices. I said, well, he's probably the best one for Atlanta. And so I was championing Jamal Harrison Bryant, but my concern was his ping because it's out of control. So that was my concern. And I was very vocal about that. But I praised until I began to feel as though, something you just said, that it became more and more political and agenda driven outside of just being a good pastor. And I think that's happening in a whole lot of mega churches. But it's unfortunate that New Birth sort of had to go through that, a whole nother scandal with that. And still faced with scandal because Jamal ain't saved. I mean, let me say it like this. With his fingers in control. So that's sort of unfortunate. Any part of you feels like you could be the pastor.
Absolutely. But here's the caveat. Only with the grace of God.
Okay.
This is one of them things, again, that's been a cycle. I did not like how the process took place. I did not like it for a few reasons. It took me back to somewhat the prophets versus the Saul situation with the Hebrew people. You feel me? And within that, what's different is that the people didn't really have a say-so. There was no vote by the people.
Yeah.
There was only vote by two people, the board of trustees. And so when a poll was taken early on in the process of where should we go now, some of the consensus was just on a poll, do a search. Some of the consensus was a certain woman in the ministry, possibly allowing her to be the pastor. Some of the consensus was to try to work things out with Davis in the aftermath.
Right.
And then a large consensus was to turn my way.
Yeah. That's what I thought, and I didn't know you.
And you've come to know I can be very vocal. What's kind of fun is I don't really speak up about myself a lot. I will be very vocal about others, my dad, this, that, and the third, whomever. Like I told you, I defend people. But when it comes to me, it's kind of like, you know what? Lord, I'm going to put this in your hands.
But why is that?
I think that I never want to be like an Absalom.
Okay.
One who just hijacks something.
Yeah.
One who has, as many of the preachers who even apply, 163 people applied for that.
I know.
Now, 163 people didn't hear from God, but everybody said they did.
Hell no.
What people were doing was
package.
These people were envisioning what it looked like.
Yeah.
And these people, no matter what any of them may have said about my dad or how they felt about him, what you have to understand is by applying what they were saying was what God did through Bishop Eddie Lee Long was better than what I got.
I mean, absolutely. Yeah.
And so if we understand that God is a God of nepotism, in my opinion, because he's the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, you know what I'm saying? I mean, the book of Matthew starts off with the lineage.
Yeah.
You feel me? So if this is a God of legacy and transfer, then the church should be echoing that versus operating like the corporate world. You feel me?
You just said something.
Come on, man.
So with that being said, I don't want to get you in trouble. I can say.
Well, let me say this. What I did, it let me know who was who around me.
Okay. All right.
Because I was able to observe people who applied.
Yeah.
And some would call or text me and say, hey, bro, I'm applying. And I'm thinking, you were my friend. So now I got to move you in the associate category. And I don't have to say nothing to you.
That's a lot.
I just got to just rearrange you in my mind. I have to adjust my expectations of you because now I know if it ever come down to you or me, it's going to be you.
Yeah, it's going to be about
Although the Jesus we preach says there's no greater love than to lay down your life, meaning your goals, your ambitions, your this, your that, for a brother.
Did his enemies apply?
Absolutely.
And you knew they were
Oh,
his
my. One of my mentors told me behave, so I'm trying to just
Okay.
listen.
Okay.
It's a lot. Enemies all up in there. Come on, bro. Many of the guys who come to preach since my dad's transition and this new leadership did not support my dad. That question is answered on its own. Who was at his home going? You wasn't at his home going. How do we support now? You put up a video the day after he transitioned saying now that he's gone, let's vindicate his victims. But how do you praise him and call him? Come on, man.
Now you
But
know
vengeance ain't mine, vengeance is the Lord's.
Okay.
And he can do a much better job of it than I can.
but let me try. Look, I'm gonna be good. Now he ain't gonna tell you who done that video, but I'm gonna tell you Jamal did that video. I'm gonna say it one more time. I saw Michael head pick up. Michael your head pick up. Look at his face. Hold on,
Look at his face.
Is
Oh
he
my
on
God.
camera? He ain't got no camera over there. We moved. Michael's so mad. Like he ready to fight. This is why I'm dirty. I see. I didn't know that until remember because I was an advocate, and this is not a Kill Jamal Harrison Brown show. It's not. But he done blocked me now. So hell, who cares? I ain't care anyway. But I was an advocate, and that's the thing that killed me because I hate. And that's why I was hard on John Gray, who we are now cool.
Good.
But
Because I was upset with you back then. Like, you can't talk about my friend while I'm on your show. Like, come on.
well, you a good friend. Clearly, you are a good friend. But but he thanked me. He said it was me that God used them to get him. Like, look, you need to pop out. He said his friends was not coming at him, telling him you need to da. And so that was a great.
I
thing.
was, though.
Yeah, okay.
Because I'm his brother.
Okay.
But we good.
Yeah, and so I didn't know that Jamal had done that to somebody that sent it to me, trying to say you're exactly right because I was praising Jamal so hard. You know, this is the best choice. Let's just pray. You know da. And when I got that video, I was confused. I was like, how could you do that? I don't understand that. And this goes back to what I said earlier. I do not like how, and you know more than me because you're his son, how people responded surrounding and all this. Was there any people that showed up for you?
This is part of the disappointment, is that I have learned to not expect anything of anyone indicative of the role. There are people who will know things and will say, yeah, that's not right. We'll be in total agreement and will give you new information, but won't do anything and have relation there.
So anybody use their power, their voice to speak up.
And I'm direct. I've talked to a couple and said, look, I know you preach there. I know you do X, Y, and Z. I'm not asking you to jeopardize your honorarium. Let's just deal with it. You feel me? You telling me that you know certain things ain't right. Then the prophets I know in the word I read went with a rebuke.
Come on now.
Whenever they spoke to the king, the man of God, the peasant, the this, the that. So you telling me that you know that there's a rebuke that needs to be administered. But you gonna go and say everything else that you feel like thus saith the Lord.
I can't.
But you know this and you don't even need revelation for it.
I can't.
But you won't say it. Because, I don't have to judge that. Those scales are unbalanced.
Does that make you not believe in people that call themselves prophets?
I don't believe in prophets. I don't believe in soothsayers, all those type of things. And let me qualify what I'm saying. Because I don't give that title to anyone.
Okay.
That's a title that whomever comes with. Like I was sharing with my wife earlier today. If I come to her and say, I believe God is going to give you $1 million tomorrow. It's nothing for her to do. That's on me and the word that I've administered. And if it manifests, then cool. That person told me something prophetic. If it doesn't, hey, that person didn't tell me something prophetic. It don't adjust how I move. So all of the regalia and different things that may come with titles that we use in the church, I respect it because of consideration of the person. And I know some have fragile egos, etc.
Right.
But the truth of the matter is that if I cannot see what you're advertising in the work that you're doing, then it don't matter anyway.
I got you.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And so there are many who are preachers, who are shepherds, etc. by title, but my experience with them, I don't see the fruit in the work.
Okay. Oh God, this is so heavy. But this means a lot. I mean, because we're not just talking to somebody who. This is Bishop Eddie Lone's son. There is no famous pastor and preacher that you have not met and seen and shared space with, and he's making this statement. So it's that's different. That puts a different kind of weight on it when he says and makes a measure of the character of our leaders. This is the problem.
Let me answer your question though, because I didn't answer your question. I gave the antithesis.
Okay.
You asked me, has anybody checked on me?
Yeah.
And it is yes. And it's been the unexpected. Of course, John Gray has been riding with me. Dr. A.R. Bernard.
I don't know him, but I've heard
him and my dad go way back.
Okay.
Go way back. And he has been kind towards me. Archbishop Bernard, with our whole fiasco, all us fell out, but then we fell back on.
Right.
And he's been very, very kind to me. My guy Travis Green out of South Carolina.
I know
Travis has stood publicly.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, he stood boldly like, yo, Bishop Long is my favorite preacher. That's it.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And my friends,
That's great.
the Price family, the Blake family out in West Angeles, my guy Michael Fisher, I mean, I don't want nobody to be offended because, I don't want to leave no names out. My partner trying to make sure I
That's good. That's a good partner.
My guy Corey, Hembrook, all of that. Say the name.
They can't hear you.
Oh yeah. I'm like whispering and stuff.
Yeah, they can't hear you. You a good one.
But he's absolutely Dr. Dollar, Bishop Bronner. Yeah. So there are and these were unexpected. You follow me?
But the expected ones were.
It's been different. It's been interesting.
And you still love the church.
You know what this has caused? A faith untested ain't a faith at all.
I know that's right.
And so my faith is tested on a regular basis. And though things have been augmented, if you will, from a personality standpoint, I've never believed in the Lord more. I mean, my dad is alive preaching his socks off. And I may have some questions about this or that or whatever. We had these conversations.
I know what you mean.
And his prayers are really availing now. Right. You know what I'm saying? I want to mention one other person. Yeah. You talked about Bishop Jakes. Yeah. He and I have a good relationship. Okay. Now. We have a good relationship now. And work through some of what you shared.
Right. That's good. That's really nice. Good. And Bishop Smith.
Bishop, he gonna make sure I count everybody.
And that's good. That's good.
Yeah, that's one of our board members as well. Yeah. Shout out to JD. JD Boone.
I still what I said. I don't care, y'all okay.
Hey, listen, your story is your story. Mine is mine.
Yeah, I'm just saying. It was because I just feel like I watched and then I went back and had to research because, like I said, all of my viewpoints don't come from, sometimes people can be a little biased because they know somebody or they like them. Mm-hmm. I didn't know your father like that because I just didn't. But then when this case happened, I looked into him. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay, he been. And I said, I remember him preaching on Jake's stage with a conference or something. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay. And so I said, well, wait a minute. Where are all these people at? And so that was a concern. And then you and the other, you got siblings too, right?
Absolutely.
And that was the concern. Now let me ask you, are you going, let's see how much talking they're going to do back there. We're going to be doing the whole show. Chatty, watty. And so anyway, whole conversation. Is you single? He's single. He's single,
No, he's spoken for.
Oh, that's your wife out there. Okay. You better go back there and look something. I
You say somebody working the move?
She don't know what I'm saying. She caught up in the thing. She don't know what I'm saying. Look how she looks. She's like, what's happening? Okay. All right. Anyway, so you can answer this if you want to. You don't have to. Are you going to start a church?
No, unless the Lord tells me to do so.
Okay.
So let me not even say no. If the Lord leads me that way. Okay. All right.
That was a strong no.
Well, because I've toured with that for a while, and I had to just get to a place of really being settled in it. Do I see myself pastoring? Absolutely, because I'm already doing it.
Yeah, really.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Launching a church, that's a different thing. I'll tell you where we are right now. Right now, what's heavy, and it's been burning in my heart for the past couple of years, is just structuring what we're calling the Long Center. You follow me? Where there's so many leaders, there's so many people who seed was planted in by my father. And they've grown, as Paul said, by now you should be teachers. Well, they were sheep, they were babes at one point, but they've been processed and grown. And so they won't go there because they're not,
it's not the same.
You know, what
they almost have taken the spirit of your father out of the church.
I hear that so often. So
can I say this? And I ain't trying to praise him over to, but the truth is what it is. I think it's very, 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 very good that he is attempting in his own way to continue the legacy of his father. And when I'm thinking, I'm like, Lord, please do something, my children, to where they do this. I mean, to where if I die, that they will be doing something to try to keep my name and what I built and gave my whole life for and keep it alive. And that is if you think negative about Bishop Long, the proof that you shouldn't is sitting right here. A black man able to impact his son in such a way to where he carried on the language, the terminology, the spirit, and the work and the mindset of his father.
Wow.
I mean, that is amazing to me.
Wow.
I mean, because there are a lot of people who probably think they better than your daddy, but they ain't done this.
Wow.
They ain't done this. I mean, so that is amazing. I'm hoping that, I don't know, we just had a meeting with our children. I mean, my baby mama, she just left. And we don't know what the hell is going on with that children. I'm like, Lord, get in their brain and give them one, because that ain't it.
Stop, man. I'm trying to be serious up here, man.
You know, I love them, but Jesus, lamb. So this is amazing. I mean, y'all have put some hand claps in the chat because this is just so nice. I mean, that a black father has lived such a life to where it's impacted another black man, his son, to where he wants to carry on what his father is doing. Lord, I hope I'm that kind of father, because this is terribly amazing to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you said no still? I done said all that.
So this is what
I'm convinced.
Since you threw that. No, that was very. I appreciate that. You know, since you had that moment of just genuine dialogue.
That's true.
If anybody is streaming this now, not if, I'm seeing, at least 2,600 people. All right, so we got an arena filled with people right here in this Facebook stream, YouTube stream right now. If you would text long, LONG, to the number 404. Which camera am I? I want to make sure.
Look in this. And put it in the chat, Nancy, at the bottom.
Long to 404-999-5787.
Text the word long to
404-999-5787. And you will get an auto response with a link. Click on that link to sign up. And our team will be able to send you out information weekly on what we are doing, how we are mobilizing, when and where we are gathering, all of these type of things.
Keep that up. I want you to keep that up. I want everybody to do this. Listen, if you're in the Atlanta area, I mean, you ought to have something. I don't know if they've done this to just honor your father's legacy, but at the same time looking forward, into some things. Just text this number, anything that he does concerning his father, and to push the real new birth, not the new fake one. But did I say that? I shouldn't have said that like that. I'm so sorry. This is not on him. This is on me. So anything that he do to push excuse me, I almost said it again. What the hell? I can't get it right for nothing. Anything that he does to promote the vision of his father as he's carrying it on, you'll be notified so you know straight from Bishop Seed what is happening. Text the word loan to 404-999-5787. That's 404-999-5787. And y'all go ahead and do that right now. And while you're doing that, y'all know how we do over here. This is the only YouTube platform that you can watch and donate and deduct it off your taxes, because the MBN network, which is the ministry, sponsors the Larry Reid live show. What's the day? It's the 17th day. 1 + 7 is 8. $17.88. That's what we're going to do right now. Send it and put in your memo section. If you're doing it on Cash App, put in the memo. LRL, put your phone number and LRL, because we got 5 prophets that's going to call you. Now, when they call you, they say, thank you for donating to the MBN network. They're going to say your name. If they don't say that, that ain't us. That's somebody else lying. So make sure you put your phone number in the memo and LRL, $17.88 if you're watching tonight. Cash App, MBN Network. That's what I want you guys to do right now. As you are texting the word loan to 404-999-5787. 5787. We're going to put that down there at the bottom so you guys can continue to do that. And there's a book that he has written. We're about to wrap it up. But there's a book that he's written, it's a bishop, but it really should be the bishop. The son of a bishop. Now, where can they get this?
It's everywhere. Amazon, so you can order it. You can get it shipped right to your house. That's the paperback copy. Boom. Also have the ebook copy. And we have just released about 2 months ago, the audio book.
That's great.
And it's
in your voice or somebody else?
Man. So my editor is here. She's with us. Shout out to CC. She's in the building right now. And, I also had someone to transcribe certain parts with me. Shout out to Deborah Parham. That process was 2 years.
Yeah.
This is my healing.
Yeah.
Hear me. This, if you're thinking about writing something, a book or whatever the case may be, stop waiting. You may think it's for an audience.
Yeah.
It is for you.
Always for you.
It's
That's
for you.
Truth.
Hear me. And so that was 2 years. Boom, push that thing. And then audiobook. Man, it took my team, Teddy P, Pierre Midor, DJ X-Ray, and can't forget my man, Young Will. It took us about 3 months to produce the audiobook. You got to sit down and reread all your stuff.
Yeah. And did it make you process?
Oh, man.
Yeah. My baby mama just done the book, and she said that done that for her. It was her healing about her life.
You going through it, and and all of that. And so it just keeps taking you. You get insight about yourself when you can look at yourself from outside yourself. You know what I mean? Okay, that might have been what they were talking about. Oh, wow, I got it. Oh, yeah, that was dope. It's really a journey. So I advise everybody to go through it.
Yeah, man.
I left somebody out since we talking about it.
Okay.
Bishop Morton.
Oh, Paul is.
Bishop Morton. He gave commentary in and throughout the book, and so he's been.
He seemed to be somebody that will stick up with you.
Yeah. He and my dad had fallen out for a season.
Yeah, I know.
And he understands or demonstrated how to get back in covenant one to another. I appreciate him, the whole Morton family. Shout out to PJ and all of that as well.
Yeah, man, this
I feel you wanting to go deeper.
yeah, but a little bit that's. I mean, I guess because I have some personal experience that sort of resonates with what you're going. That people don't understand. To be here and you talking to me and you got every reason to not care nothing about nobody. I mean, and you just, man, this is amazing. It's really amazing it's just amazing to me.
Praise God.
All them layers of loss and betrayal, that's a lot. And you took that and
you're still going.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, but you've been real nice about it.
Hey man, listen.
But that's good though.
Vengeance is mine, says the Lord. You know, I'm gonna close with three things.
Okay.
I shared some words. Gentlemen, shout out to the Canty family.
Okay.
Those New Birthians who are on here, y'all will remember Pastor Donald Canty. And at his homegoing about 2 weeks ago, someone gave remarks of something he said. He said, listen, for those of you all who trying to get revenge on somebody, understand something. God may not always pay on Friday, but God always pays. That's it. So the check is in the mail. We ain't got to worry about it. All we got to do is make sure that we are being prepared, we're being loving, we're being everything that we would want on the flip side. And it's all good. Man, there's so many people fighting my battles for me now, bro. Look at this, man. Me and you are sitting here. Because I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, I'm gonna just say it straight, bro. I brought my boxing gloves just in case we was gonna fight for real. I didn't know, I didn't know what was going on. So I know you got your security, all of that, you know what I'm saying? But hey man, growing up, Rocky was my favorite. I just watched Creed, man. I said, look, just in case, we got this. I came. But now look at this, you feel me? On the flip side of things, even Larry Reid is helping fight my battles for me.
Yeah, man. But this is the thing though. When I first spoke, I wanted to have this conversation, but it's still
timing.
Yeah, maybe neither one of us was ready to have that conversation, But this is amazing to me. And count me in. If you're doing something with Bishop Edelon, you text me, let me know. If I can't come, I can send a seed.
Praise God.
But that's man.
Praise
this
God.
Is a lot.
So
it's gonna make me I'm gonna have to make myself go to sleep. I'm gonna be processing because I get caught up in. You have your story, which I know you're only giving us this much. Then you have your bonus mom story. Then your mom.
My mom, my siblings.
Because she had a loss.
Come on.
Then anybody asked nothing about what she thought.
Even from a distance, it's still, come on, man. Listen.
Nobody has asked this question. It's almost like it doesn't matter. He's going on to the next.
Ain't that sad?
It is very sad.
So I told you three things I wanted to share. This is the last thing. We're better together. Hear me. It's been so many people that's talked. You said it a couple of times. Now there's 2 new births and all of these type of things. And if y'all don't know by now, I am about reconciliation. I am about what happened. But how can we progress past that? So I'm going to say it again. We are better together.
Yeah.
And if 2 cannot walk in agreement, then how are we professing the kingdom, bro?
No.
So I'm going to leave that at that. My telephone number is the same.
Wow. Well, since you said that, I want to ask you this. Could you work with Jamal?
I just answered you.
Oh, that's great.
I have called, I have texted, I have emailed.
Yeah, but it seems like he will reach out to you to try to have the spirit of Eddie in.
Every day we got new mercies. Tomorrow's Father's Day. 6 years, going on 7 since my father's transition.
That's yesterday.
Come on, bro. So it's a new day, new mercies. We're better together. That's the kingdom mandate. Do what you
To
want.
honor him, they should be calling you just to honor. Man, that's really unfortunate. I'm gonna stick with the energy of what he said. We're better together. But the hell, I mean, this is weird. I mean, how you take over a man's church you don't like and drag online, get in his son's spot, then disconnect from the son, have nothing to do with the son, then bring all the daddy enemies in to give him honorarium to preach. Yeah. You're a good one, because most people walk in that church on a Sunday morning. Preach now! Preach now! You know, so I'm saying God has worked on you. I mean, for you to not take that to you from the street too. Bruh. Him about many times Marco done seen him at Perimeter Mall and stopped and said, "Hey Jamal." I said, "Don't you get too close because the breath stink." He said, "You right, because that breath was killing." I said, "I told you not to get too close to my breath stink."
What y'all gonna do with this guy, man?
That's what they had said, told me, but then he found out firsthand. Nose has burnt. But I mean, in all honesty though, it would be good if Jamal would work with you. And it's not that you need him. He needs you. I mean, the church needs you. Man. I don't even know. You don't ever cry? You're just so strong.
I have not shed no tears about none of this stuff, man, because it's
At all?
No, bro. No, bro.
Okay, well, you ain't know. You
I will shed tears about my father.
Okay.
You asked me about mourning my dad.
Yeah.
The church, X, Y, and Z. Bro, so
So you cried about your father.
When you seen it at its greatest, what we seeing now, it ain't 3 services full.
Oh no, it ain't. That's Eddie Long's church.
No, we're not gonna shed no tears over that, bro.
Okay.
I miss my father. That's it.
Okay.
I love that place.
So what are you gonna do? How was Father's Day for you?
Man, I got a 1-year-old son. We just celebrated his birthday last weekend. We getting on the flight. We going to the beach. I'm gonna be dad. What I was doing before I came here. My wife and I, we took our son to the lake. Today he went to the lake and put his feet in the lake for the first time in life.
Yeah. Was the lake living there?
Nah, I ain't gonna tell y'all which one.
Out of there.
I can't go back there neither. Once we found out, I ain't trying to get pulled in there by the ancestors. Right. I'm gonna be a dad.
But I know you're gonna think about your father.
Absolutely. I think about my daddy every single day. That's not a day that goes by that he ain't talking to me, speaking to me. Through someone, through some video, through some note I stumbled upon, through some picture I come across. No, bro. And here's the thing. I don't want it to stop.
Yeah.
The greatest joy I have, man, one of the greatest joys I have is being out, airport, downtown, wherever, and someone who I don't know comes up to me, bawling, crying on me. Like it's day one of, like they just found out he transitioned because that's the experience for them. They didn't get to touch him. They didn't get to say goodbye. They didn't get to whatever. I've been in other countries, bro, and people, Edward, Junior, and just, man, your father, my church was in, and he sent us $5,000. Man, this book right here, bro, it could be an anthology. Yeah. You don't want that to quit. So some people are chasing a ghost. I'm just celebrating memories while making new ones.
Yeah. This was a great interview.
Praise God.
Wow. This is better than expected. I mean, I knew it was gonna be good, but this has got really real. Y'all, I'm sure y'all sensitive people can feel the energy. But we here in the studio, and when he's talking about his father, it just like invokes him and a lot of gratitude. Yeah.
Man, the comments off the chain. I see it's people that hating on me. It's people that celebrate. Hey, it is what it is. I love, man. I this is comedy to me.
Yeah, Larry Live audience is a mongrel. Some of them, the LRLers, they ain't ugly. That's people come over here because they find out you're gonna be here just to come in here and say something crazy, and they ain't gonna come back no more.
Hey, listen, it's all love. Everybody have a wonderful Father's Day. If you don't know your father, if you haven't met your father, If the relationship is not good, listen, please don't let that dampen the image of our Heavenly Father. God loves all of us. And something my dad used to say, some of us should be thankful that our fathers weren't present because they may have just been jacked up
Yeah.
and may have jacked us up even worse. Yeah. As much as I don't like it that my dad is not here, it's crazy that I would say this, but the experience that I've had, how it's grown me and what I've learned, I'm not sure that I would change it.
I got you. I understand that.
So happy Father's Day, everybody. Much love.
All right, make sure tomorrow y'all tell your daddy that you love him. Make sure you tell him. Hold on. All right. Oh yeah. Somebody said, that's somebody I know said the comments ain't the same that's in the studio. Well, that's fine. But y'all know them is not LRLs. There's just people come over here and watching that say they're LLs. They're not LLs. They're not LLs. They're not. I don't know how in the world you can listen to him speak and not feel what he is saying. I'm looking him dead in the eye. This man ain't lying. This is for real. This is dead for real, for real. All right. We will see you later. Make sure you turn your notifications on because you just don't know what's going to be happening on the Larry Live Show. There's so many different things that is going on. If you follow the story from the last show I done that I didn't want to do, I have began to put all of the receipts over there in Patreon. And for the members who don't know what happened, like you said, it's bad that the church now, everything people coming to church and getting all the drama and all the stuff that's happening. Yeah. So y'all go over there and read over that. The members, y'all go over there and see all the lies that they were telling y'all. It's so shame. It's so sorry. It's so sorry. So sorry. All right. See you later. And goodbye. We're all
Multimedia personality, comedic commentator, songwriter, recording artist, spiritual leader, and actor. Catch Larry Reid on the BET Plus original series Kingdom Business and on American Gangsta Trap Queens. Streaming online at BET.plus. Patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. Let me tell you why you should join. You will gain access to master level teaching and coaching, which includes Sunday morning prayer calls with Dr. Reid, Wednesday night breakdown with Dr. Reid, the prophets and care pastors, divine partnerships and networking with a like-minded community, exclusive content, which includes daily posts, ranging in topics that are too expansive to share on Dr. Reid's public platform, including money, health and wellness, entrepreneurship, relationships, prophecy, prayer, and more. Become a member today by logging on to patreon.com/Larry Reid Live today.